House prices are falling. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. Let's have a look at this article from realestate.com.au discussing Sydney auctions and how sellers are under pressure to cut prices. It looks like it's no longer a seller's market, everyone. House prices are starting to fall. Now, will the fall be significant, or will it just take us back to the heyday of 2019 when no one ever complained about housing being too expensive? Oh, but even if we get a price correction, guys, it's not going to make any difference. Prices are still going to be insane. You're going to have to take, really drastic price falls, and then, well, come on, we're going to have intervention in the market, aren't we? I would be shocked if we don't have government intervention coming to the rescue if prices drastically crater. I can't see Labor being that different from the Liberals. So, home sellers have had a tough time trying to offload their properties at auction this weekend as buyers spooked by interest rate rises and a falling market pulled back from bidding. This week's final result for nearly 1,000 scheduled Sydney auctions are yet all to come in, but preliminary indicators suggest there was a high incidence of properties passing in without a bid. Hate to be spending all that money on auctions for no reason. So there was also a high number of sellers who withdrew their homes from auction, normally an indicator there wasn't enough bidder interest in the property. Housing experts said the problem for sellers wasn't a lack of buyers, because there were still many home seekers in the market with high budgets. The bigger issue was a lack of buyer confidence. So does this mean, guys, FOMO has disappeared? Does it mean FOMO is gone? Is it over? Is the fear of missing out gone? So many of the current home seekers in the market were reported to be fearful they would pay a higher price than what they might pay in 3 to 4 months. So we're seeing deflation in the property sector. So people are going to wait and hold on to their money. So that means demand is going to go down. So the supply and demand curve will shift in property. Now, will it be enough? Will property go lower than the dip we saw in COVID? People are anchored to that price as being cheap, so there'd probably be some psychological support at that level. It comes as property track data shows Sydney home prices dropped in April, the first median fall in more than 18 months. Prices have stopped growing for months before the drop. With the Reserve Bank announcing the first cash rate rise in 11 years earlier this month, the lenders are warning of more rate rises to come. There is expected to be additional downward pressure on prices. The pattern of buyers pulling back from sales was not as pronounced, with properties perceived as rare offerings, quality homes or large land allotments with some scope for improvements. Yeah, that's always normal, guys. But a lot of houses that are going for insane amounts aren't special. I mean, how many of us have houses that they're special to us? Sure, but are they that different from the neighbors? I mean, think about the apartments, guys. People are buying these apartments, and they're all exactly the same. You're competing with everyone in there. So, on the other hand, buyers were the most hesitant with properties they viewed as having drawbacks, such as dated interior or location on a busy road. Small units in large high-rise buildings also drew significant buyer interest, or seldom drew significant buyer interest. Only 55% of the properties scheduled for auction last week sold, with close to half changing hands in pre-auction deals. Auctions had a similar success rate the week prior. The clearance rate was 75% over much of February. Avenue Auctions director Andrew Cooley said a common theme among properties that didn't sell well was the vendor setting their expectations at prices seen 2 or 3 months ago when it was a different market. So prices are heading down, guys. Prices are heading down. These sellers tended to be committed to those lofty prices because there were sums with properties where aspirations when they started their sales campaign. Okay, so they're aiming much higher than they should be. So prices have to decrease. Among the properties that passed in at auction this week was a 4-bedroom house on Claytos Crescent in Denham Court in Sydney Southwest. The home passed in at a vendor bid of $1.2 million. No bids were placed for a unit on Oaks Avenue. An acreage at Kenhurst Northwest passed in at a vendor bid of 5.5. 10 bids were placed from registered parties, with the highest coming at 5 million. In Gladsdale, a house passed in at 3.75. See, none of these are normal houses, guys. Auctioneer Michael Garofalo said there would be more results like this until vendors started to drop their expectations to meet the market. He warned some perspectives were needed. You may need to go lower than what you'd get a few months ago, but if you compare it to 2 years ago, it's still going to be a fantastic price. So people are anchored. I don't know what's going to happen there. Okay, people are anchored at a high price. My Epic launcher just updated. Awesome. They're going to be anchored at a higher price. So, well, let's have a talk about it. We'll have to see what happens, guys. Even if property corrects, even if it goes down, is it going to be a decent savings for people? We'll have to see. I think we're still going to see prices are going to be much higher to what it was years ago. Even if we see article after article of property falling down, it's still going to be insanely expensive. What do you reckon? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think we're going to see this correction that people are hoping for? I think there's a sense of desperation out there that people want property to fall significant amounts, but they're still useful investments. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create, here are a few ways you can help out. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. Sign up using our referral links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. Or if you need architectural services, give us a call. Take care, guys. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next episode of HeiseSays. I don't know if we're going to... Well, even if we see a 20% cut in property in Sydney, some people will be pissed they bought in at the top, but in 10 years' time, will it matter?